sees the memes of production, and the like and subscribe button. I don't really want to play Persona 5. That's my response. I guess I just don't really get it, you know? It seems like most of the appeal of Persona 5 is pretending that you're a handsome high schooler who gets groomed by a nurse or something. I don't know. Can they just make games like that, but without the weird... Like, I don't even think it's because all of the characters look like adults. I'm not going to say, like, obviously, it's like, you know, Kujo Jotaro is 17 years old kind of thing. But can they just make it less weird? Please? With that, metaphor is kind of Persona without the weird. I'm sure it still has the weird. It's a little weird, but not bad. Yeah, I know everyone likes Persona 5 or whatever. I know it's like a celebrated game. And this is the case with the anime too. I just would like it if it was less weird. It's the same thing I said about Kill la Kill, right? Like, if you think Satsuki or whatever is hot, I'm not gonna go like, oh, she's a high schooler, you sicko, because she's drawn with an adult body, and like, we're reaching levels of abstraction where I feel like you're virtue signaling, you know? Like, oh, look at this drawing of somebody who's 6 heads tall with like big tits and hips with an adult's body, like what? But it's like, why does it have to be high schoolers then, you know? Because I remember being in high school and everyone's like awkward and gangly and stuff. If you want to have like a story that has romantic themes set in a high school, why can't they be high schoolers and you deal with that on its own terms? Like, a high school romance should be like awkward because they're awkward. Like, if you're gonna make characters who look the way the Persona characters do, why make them high schoolers? You know what I mean? Because they don't have to be. They don't look like high school. Can't they be like college students? At least? Literally, like Persona 5 cast. Cast? I don't know. Like, you take a look at these character designs they've come up with. And they're good character designs, right? Like, Persona character designs are good. I'm not gonna, like, pretend they weren't cooking or whatever. Okay, here's them during, like, an animated bit or whatever. This is literally not what high schoolers look like, obviously. But, like, come on. Why can't you just make them college students? Why can't you make them college? Joker's literally 16. Joker's literally, like, 8 heads tall. He looks 6'3". He's wearing a turtleneck with a... He doesn't have to be. That's just a number that they wrote. Why? Yeah, Kujo Jotaro is 17 or something. Like, I'm just saying, like, why make it weird? This is what high schoolers look like when you're in the 8th grade. Okay, that's true, though. Did you watch Dandadan? Yeah, and Dandadan is a romance set in a high school where the central romantic theme is that they're both awkward as f, and it's really good. Now, if the follow-up to that is, well, in Dandadan, they do sexualize the female main character, my response to that would be, yeah, I wish they wouldn't. They do give her an adult's body, so I'm not going to say, like, oh, if you watch this, you're a sicko or whatever. And also, generally, it's a pretty good anime. But if you wanted to make... Okay, basically what I'm saying is, you can have an awkward high school romantic anime, or you can have, like, a bombastic shonen, like the girl has big boobies and she's hot and she fights and you get to see her boobies bounce when she's hot. You shouldn't do both at the same time. You should do one or the other. Like, don't you think Dandadan would be a little bit, I don't know, nicer without the departures into fan service? Or the corollary, wouldn't the departures into fan service in Dandadan be better if they were done to adult characters? It just seems weird to me that like Okarun is this like shrimpy kid, and then the girl he likes like gets her clothing obliterated by aliens, and she has the body of like a toned like TikTok influencer who's 25 years old, you know? Like, oh yeah, he's like he's like a little cartoon stick guy, and the girl is like, you know, has like the optimal body or whatever. You know? I don't like this discussion because I have photos of myself from high school. My body looked the same. You're projecting your issues onto what I'm talking about. These are like deliberate decisions made by artists and writers to sexually appeal to people. Like, we're not talking about real life. In real life, there are people who hit puberty like super early or like super late. We're not talking about real life. We're talking about the mangaka for Dandadan was like, I want these awkward high schoolers to have like an awkward romance, but I also want the girl to be like hot and sexy, even though she's a high schooler. That's a choice they made. It's nothing to do with reality. It's just like it's like they, you know, chose to do that. Yeah, this is kind of weird. Some people develop before they're 18. Are you being real right now? Are you? We're not talking about real. Are you kidding me? Weird, like perving on children in anime, and your response is like, well, children develop early sometimes. What the fuck are you talking about? Think before you speak. There was absolutely a girl in high school with real DDs. Whoa. Are you? I could. Like legitimately, what are you people thinking? Literally, what are you thinking? What are you thinking right now? What the f are you talking about? I'm not even gonna, like, there are like 70 lines of argumentation we could run down to explain how you're more than wrong. I'm not even gonna, this is so like 2020 coded argument with chat. I'm not doing this. Fucking you say there should be less sexualized high schoolers in anime, and everyone, all of a sudden, everyone in chat, non-binary, has anxiety, PTSD, came from a abusive household. I don't want to hear it, okay? You motherfuckers just need to watch and consume content where the girls are college students. That's all I'm asking for, okay? Hey, what if the hot girl with the big tits was 18 or over? Fish died, cat burned down, dog died, mom died. What do you, come on. Yeah, but the only stereotype for inexperienced lovers in college are autistic coded. Okay, but we could do a little more with reality on this one. It doesn't all have to be welcome to the NHK shit. Aren't a bunch of young people these days like perma virgin losers anyway because no one talks to anyone? Like, just have your shit happen in high school and everyone's still awkward. That they literally are in real life. Like, that's not even, you don't have to bend reality to arrive at that possibility. That's literally happening now everywhere. What, like, you don't, like, you like people, did I say high school? College. In college, I mean. Like, in college, be awkward. Because they are awkward in college. Doesn't everyone, like, everyone's like a kid until they're 30 now anyway. Have you talked to people? Have you looked at yourself? There are people in their mid-20s. When your great-grandparents were in their mid-20s, they were like, yeah, gonna have to, like, sell my 8th child to pay for the barley that I need to make the grain to feed the other 7 or something. And nowadays, you know, you people don't even know what the interest rate is in the credit card that you use to pay your student loans or whatever. Like, you piece of shit. Okay, I'm just gonna read something from YouTube chat, and I'm gonna judge all of YouTube chat by it. And I want you all to know, like, how much discipline I exercise in my day-to-day, okay? Vaush is wrong. I just attended my niece's middle school ceremony, and there are a variety of body types. It continues from there and gets worse from there. I'm not even reading that shit out loud. This is what I have to deal with from you people. The reflexive contrarianism reaches points where you people... What? Contrarianism taking me to places I wouldn't go even with a gun, basically. That's all of YouTube chat now. I'm using this to fuel another, like, 12 months of antagonism between the chats. I don't consider YouTube chatters human. Me either, basically. Type shit. It sucks too from like an artistic perspective because obviously Persona looks really good, right? But like how, like this girl, I don't know her name, this girl right here, and pardon me, maybe I'm like imposing my social circle on this a little bit. Futaba, is this not an autistic 25-year-old trans girl? You're telling me this is a high schooler? No, the f she isn't. Futaba is like 14 to 15. Okay. See, now to me, that is a decision made by, like, easily. Like, that to me, what you're telling me right now is, like, this is a decision made by people to appeal to, I just, like, that, there are very few justifications that you could come up with for, like, a character design, story, like, chosen age imbalance other than that. She does also look like a Splatoon Squid Girl. That is also true. I don't understand the defensiveness from some people. Well, Nemesia, I don't know. People just like, it's so obvious too, like how much this is done. No, Vaush, this is done to appeal to high schoolers, their target audience. No, it's not. No, it's not. the sexualization of, no, it's not. It's not. That's not what's going on in the anime community. There's a very broad pattern here of this, and it's not that. This is meant to appeal to YouTube chat. That's true. I liked Persona when I was in high school. Do you derive a thrill from deliberately misinterpreting the point that I'm making in an attempt to, like, pathetically, defensively protect your personal interests? Are you incapable of critically examining things you like? I'm not saying you're bad if you like Persona. I never said that. Like, holy shit. Use your head. Unless you want me to be uncharitable and assume that you're like a and you're being really defensive about it because you don't want to come to... Oh, that doesn't feel good, huh? That presumption from your parasocial fave? Don't be an idiot. Don't force me to do that, okay? It bothers me when I say really obvious shit, like... Japanese media often has an issue with sexualizing younger characters, and then people in chat are like, well, like, really? Come on. How did this turn into a conversation? People in both chats being like, well, I disagree with that? Jesus Christ. I just don't, that's the reflexive, you know, anime shit, man. They'll draw little girls and say they're 1,000 years old. They'll draw adults and say they're 12 years old, you know? Problems in both directions. You can do the math on that. Argue with me, motherfucker? My big issue with Vaush's take isn't the age, but his prescription on subculture styles he's not a member of. Like his description of Futaba works in America, that aesthetic isn't the same in Japan. Never talk to a American weeb about this shit. They'll be like, well, in Japanese culture, actually, Japanese have a concept called futagoro, which means it's actually okay to sexualize children. And you're actually being really disrespectful to the Japanese culture by not honoring that tradition. By practicing futoboro, actually, I'm like honoring their laws and their culture. Ikiru means to live. Yeah, that's another big Japanese sacred tradition, that it's good to live or something. So when you kill people, you're like violating a sacred right. It's not even a law thing. It's just culture. America's worst problems, homie. Why are you people like this? It's not a competition. Also, the people ruining America right now are the people who would be cool with this in anime. Pretty big, like, fash pedo overlap, you know? Like Asmongold saying that it's censorship to not have, like, 11-year-old girls have their bones out or whatever in game localizations or whatever the f that video was. It's like kind of a big overlap there. Bones, it's a reference, you wouldn't get it. You're not as cultured and smart as me. Lone Wolf 23, thanks the tier 1 sub. Silver Solus, thank you for the $10. I think Nintendo's the target of a right-wing campaign. I don't know. Maybe Nintendo's woke coded to some people. I don't really know. They're not. He's not saying you're bad if you like Persona, but I am. Skynet Zero, thanks the $5. I have no desire to play Split Fiction. That does not look like my cup of tea. Jade314, thank you for the $10. Really appreciate that. Becquerel, thank you for the $5. Revenger, thank you for the $10. Thanks, Vaush. The most important thing these days is keeping a positive attitude, and I appreciate your stream helping me laugh and stay hopeful. Yeah, generally speaking, I think we managed to hit the mark for the most part. So, you know, try as we will. Not a pseudonym. Thank you for the very kind $30. Focus on what you can do, guys. Shop smart, find good folks in your town, save all you can, and make do with what you've got where you're able. Love you all. Yeah, good advice. 100%. Gotta keep the scope limited so you can focus on the stuff you can actually change. The Jacob, thank you for the $5. Much appreciated, even though you're Quebecois. Raindog 42, thanks the tier 1 sub. I hope ice doesn't get you, my friend. No LOL, thank you for the $5. Geoslade 49, thank you for the 5. After 3 months, my first pair of selvage jeans finally came in. Brand is Gustin. Really happy with them. Hey, looking good. And is that perchance the Buck Mason Lee Cole? Hey, hold on a second. I know a lot of the items that you've got. That's the Buck Mason Lee Type 2 truck, not Type 2, sorry, but the their take on the trucker jacket, right? The collab. And that's the Imogene and Willie t-shirt. I've got that one. Looking good. Nice cut. Got a little good stuff. Thank you, Geoslate. Rip the f up. Rhizopath, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much for helping bring people's attention to the atrocities in Gaza. My pleasure. I know I haven't talked about it as much lately, but obviously the sentiment and sympathies have gone absolutely nowhere. Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. 1 second. I just got like massive psychic damage. Go down this road far enough and any media exploring the relationships and culture of people under 18 becomes forbidden. Is that the world we want? Why? You have a tier 2 sub. Don't you value your ability to chat in chat? You know this is perma territory. What are you talking about? I was literally just saying that Dandadan was good. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? What do you mean? Why? You don't have to. It's totally unforced. Nobody's forcing anyone to type these things. I don't understand. Hold on. Hold on. We're seeing now the preferential treatment afforded to tier 2 subs. Holy shit, you're invested in this topic. Those are adults. If they look like adults, they act like adults. They should be written as college students, i.e. adults. Okay. I thought Dandadan was set in community college. I wish. I wish. That, like, honestly, that'd fix so much. Wait. I haven't seen it, but I could say the same thing about Dandadan, and I refuse to accept that as pedo shit. Go down the road far enough. Wait, hold on. What did Clog say? Why didn't that work? Wait, Clog isn't the actual name of the person. Oh, Clog in the evolution. Submit your chat log for inspection, citizen. The setting is them in high school. Backdrops are classrooms. Naturally, what were you doing? And talking about homework or living with parents. So plenty of parent between the supernatural public child setting is so pointless. They could be written any other way. It sucks. The games seem really tight and refined aesthetic-wise. Talking about Persona. I haven't seen it, but I could say the same thing about Dandadan. I refuse to accept that as pedo shit. That's run far enough. Okay. It seems like you weren't responding to me directly. You were responding to the completely made up argument that no one made that Dandadan is pedophilic, which I didn't say. Okay. But you said it like you were responding to my point broadly rather than continuing with what you were saying in that conversation. This is why we have habeas corpus. I still think you're over-invested in the topic, but I'm not ban them anyway. Well, I've seen people claim Link is an underage twink to appeal to pedos. Is that the world we want to tolerate? Okay, but like, that's not a real problem. But the sexualization of kids is. You know what I mean? It just comes across weirdly defensive. I don't know. Like, someone on Twitter said that because Link's canon age is indeterminate, but in some cases as a kid, that any art of Link that's porn is pedophilic art. I don't think people really believe that. Like, I don't think it's a real problem. I don't know. It's like, it's a very terminally online problem. Like, anyone is going to be accused of being a pedo for, like, saying, I liked this porn of Link, and it's like Link getting railed by Ganondorf or something. I don't think that's real. I just think we're way too fast to pin media as pedo shit. But in what context? I'm just talking about how it's weird how often anime bends over backwards to have through some contrived circumstance, people who look like adults are children, or people who look like children are adults. Like, but is that not weird? I just don't understand it. I think they shouldn't do that. The Odium Witch with the tier 1 sub. Trans woman here, can you make a call for allies to stand up for us? I'm afraid that's not how that works, but I do support trans people, and I express my allyship by defending them like 60 squadrillion times a stream or something. I don't know. When they come up, when I'm not making fun of them. 3 Fat Samurai, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Coming in here because I don't want to be lumped in with the degenerates of YouTube, Lamau. There you go. That's how you bring people onto the site. Torpedo, high school age boys aren't the lucrative demographic for anime-related media. And what I'm about to say will come across as kind of cynical, but it's true. There is a small but wealthy group, not wealthy I should say, but lucrative group of men 30 to 40 years old who are who pay a lot of money to get the Blu-rays or the deluxe editions of games or anime that are released, often ones that have less censorship than the stuff that airs on TV. These are the people, they're the whales of these industries. They are the ones who provide the most money. In reality, a lot of these anime and anime games or whatever have very, very, very small player bases. The market is very different in Japan than it is over here. Over here, we have like AAA games. We'll talk games. AAA games, AA games sometimes, and then indie games. We don't really have much of a middle market. In Japan, there is a middle market of games that rarely get localized, and when they do, they're heavily censored. The reason those games exist and are able to exist over there is in large part because they sell very, very, very expensive versions of themselves, whether it be in the form of Blu-rays or like deluxe editions or whatever, to in Japan.